Hello and welcome to XRM1 Business Solutions. XRM1 is a globally active software manufacturer for business solutions based on the Microsoft Dynamics platform. We are offering solutions for project, HR, and idea management, as well as time tracking.
Hello and welcome to today's training session for Multiproject Management, including reports and dashboards. This video is concerning CRM Project, the software for professional project management in Microsoft Dynamics CRM. When I think of multi-project management, I have a couple things in my head and a lot of stuff we can do within CRM Project. I want to go with you with the most common tools within CRM Project so you know what is possible or what are the most people working with. This is company-wide Gantt, company-wide resource utilization, reports and dashboards. So I'm going to go into the company-wide Gantt. I will go into my Dynamics CRM system and will navigate to the project module. Within the project module, there's the Gantt. It is in the project itself, but we also have a company-wide Gantt with overall projects. Therefore, I navigate to the Gantt. And you will see all active projects. Completed subnodes are hidden by default, of course, because we don't need them at this point. You here can already distinguish between the projects in planning and the projects in processing. You might remember projects in planning are marked in orange, in processing are blue, like these ones. If you want to filter, like you want to see only the internal IT projects or the origin of idea, you can do this with a filter up here. You go to filter, just select internal IT project, and then the other ones are hidden. Or we can say we only want to see internal projects or only external project. It works the same way. If I now see the projects that I want to see, I have almost every functionality I have in the Gantt or workflow structure also. I can do drag and drop, I can do inline editing, I can drill down further into the project and also open up a project node by clicking on front of the number on the line. Now for multi-project management, I want to know something about the health of the projects. So when I look into this Gantt chart, I see some exclamation marks. So there's something wrong. What does it mean? If you mouse over, you can see what it means. This is not started or is overdue. We can see that all projects that they have not started, like this has started but nothing had happened yet, will get an exclamation mark. How can I find out if somebody has worked on it or has not worked on it? You can figure that with these white bars. The bar symbolizes the process of the project. The process is calculated by the man days projected and the man days actual. So let us look into the I1 project. We have planned 74 man days work. We have entered 15 man days. So about, I'd say 20, not 20%, but you see this in this bar here. If a project has exceeded its planned days, like you have all man days are entered against what's planned, you see this here, where the white bar is all over the whole bar, and we get an exclamation mark at the end of the bar. We can also go on the right. If I move the grid on the right and move to the very right, we have like lights to see what is the health of the project. If I mouse over, we see this project is within the budget, or here we see it's 100% over budget. Overall, a good view of all projects and to see and gear them. This is the projects, how the projects run. Like you see when is what project. If you want to know what is the availability of the people, do we have a lot of free spaces, do we need to hire somebody, or do we need to gain more projects, we can look into the company-wide resource utilization to see the people's work schedule. I'm staying in the project module and go to the resource utilization. The resource utilization is grouped with the business units. So if I open up, for example, Honag US Consulting, I'll see all people from this business unit. And here I can see what is free or who has some work to do. So I can see, for example, James Collins. He is overbooked this time. He has a capacity of 8 hours a day and he needs to work 12 hours a day. Patricia, she's only working 4 hours a day and she does not have anything to do. So we need to, if they can maybe split it. Or I can see who's on vacation or who's absent. If you want to know what the colors mean, you have this legend. Planning are projects and planning. Blue is processing. Yellow are appointments. Red border is if the availability is critical. White is available. Gray unavailable, like weekends. Absence is red and purple is leave. So this is the company-wide Gantt and the company-wide resource utilization. For multi-project management, there's also reports and dashboards. What kind of reports do we have? There's these reports delivered in standard. Please note that this is a recommendation. You are always free to download them on your own and modify or create them on your own. The reports are split into two pieces. We have fetch reports and SQL reports. The fetch reports are within the basic solution, and the SQL reports are built in SQL due to some restrictions we were having within the system. That's why it's SQL reports, and unfortunately the SQL reports don't work on an online system. That's why the SQL reports are not included in the solution. But if you have an on-premise system, you are free to download them on our website and import that in your system so you have them available as well. So I want to show you these reports. What are the fetch reports that everybody has in the system? This is the employee activity overview. You have the people working in your system and you want to know what did they do or what is planned for those people. Therefore, we have this employee overview. This employee overview is stored in the report list. So I'm going to go to the report list. Go to employee activity overview. The employee overview has a start and end time. You can select the time frame you want to look at. You can select the employee, you can select one employee, but you can also select other employees, and you can select what type of activity you want to see. I want to see Paul Morrison with all activity types, and I can see the graph of when he did how much time. So I see on the 31st he was doing only appointments, on the 1st he was also doing a phone call. If I move to the second page, I can see that more in detail. I will see what are the activities he started, what is he working at. So he was working on a project, but also on an opportunity or cases. So this is the employee activity overview. If I want to know more about Paul Morrison, there's also two other reports for him. These are user-related reports. I find them in the user. Go to security, users, open up the user, go to reports, and I have a human resource report and a time reported versus build. The human resource report, I can select from which time frame I want to look at, so say from 1st of April, run that. You can get the user information as well as the time he has reported. So user information, the leave overview, how much days of leave does he have, requested, approved, remaining, and also time entries. Or we have the time reported versus billed report. This report shows us the time entered versus billed hours. Like I can see how much time did he enter and how much time was billed. There's also two other reports. It's the timesheet report and the claim for expenses report. I would like to explain them more in detail, and we are in the section itself. The timesheet is in billing and the claim for expenses is more for the travel management. I said there's some SQL reports you can download from our homepage. What are these for reports? The first is the employee timesheet. The employee timesheet is also on the project list. It is mostly the same as the employee activity overview report. It's on the project level. I will open it up. It shows me all time entries the user did on projects. I can again select the time frame. I see a bar of the entries and I can see the time entries against the projects. You see on the first side the time entries ordered by the date, and on the second page time entries ordered by the project. This is the time entry overview, but what the people did, if we want to, for the multi-project management, want to see more in detail what are the planned days for the future for my people, I can go into the forecast utilization report. This is also a report from the report list. If I open that up, I can select the user I want to look at, or business unit, or I can also multi-select. I will select all and see all projects and its planned man days per month for the upcoming year. So we see in June there's 204 man days planned, 59 man days on projects, and 145 for processing. On the second page, we get to know in detail what are these numbers for. So we see, for example, 25 man days go to the ABK project, or 18 to the I1. And if we want to know about the health of the project, more with KPIs, we can go into the project lists. So we go to projects and projects, and from here we can run the project portfolio report. This project portfolio report is about all projects. At the first side we get a matrix of the scheduled performance index and the cost performance index. The bubbles, the size of the bubbles represents the value of the budget of the projects. On the second page you can see then the projects in the list form, and you see the project ID, title internal, project manager, process, but also the KPIs in form of lights. If you want to know what these lights mean, we have a legend at the end. So we have the timeline, the budget, the risk, priority. And last but not least, work report. We now looked into the projects, an overview of all projects. You of course also want to know about the health of your project as of now. Therefore you have a report that's called work in progress. This work in progress is on the project itself. So I've opened up the project, go to the dots, go to report, and can run the work in progress report. This gives me the status on one side. At the beginning we have a graph that shows the order volume, the amount invoiced, the amount paid, budget and costs, and payment is projected in actual. We have the progress, we see the orders to the project, the invoices, and also their status, if they're paid or active. So we can see what is the order volume and what was not invoiced yet, as well as the order product. So I see, okay, this customer has ordered 12 days project management. I have billed 1 man day, so I'm still able to bill 11 days for project management. So I can see the status of the project and now influence the upcoming process. There's not only this report, of course you can always work with views and charts. If you have looked into CRM Project, you might have figured that there's already a lot of views in the system, a lot of charts in the system. Of course you can use them, you can extend them, you can modify them. We already deliver dashboards in standard. You can use them or modify them. I want to show them to you. Therefore I go to the dashboards, and if you have imported your XRM1 solution, you will find 3 new dashboards. It's the portfolio dashboard, the manager, and the employee dashboard. These are dashboards designed for each role in your project. So the project portfolio manager can go in and can see, okay, what are the mandates assigned versus actual for the ending projects next 3 months. So you know what are the projects you need to work on. And we can see, for example, the I1 project, we have planned 74 mandates, 15 mandates are done. So there's still a lot of work to do. And the other ones have not even started yet. You can see the projects per employee. So, for example, Paul Morrison, he has 1 project in planning and 2 projects in processing. Please just note that this is only counting projects. Of course, it's not showing the size of the project, so it might be that Peter Connor has a bigger project than these 3 projects are together. We have a table of the top 10 projects in progress with the mandates projected for the planned projects top 10, or the risks assessments. and the budget versus cost. If you figure out it's too small, of course, you can always go in and extend the size to see the actual chart. This is the project portfolio dashboard. I told that there's also a dashboard for project managers. We have the mandates assigned versus actual, the risk assessment. You can see all current project notes, upcoming project notes. You can see if somebody of your team has entered effort to complete and the ending project notes. The project manager has a dashboard, and of course the project employee also needs a dashboard so he can see what he needs to do. So he has a list of all activities, the activities by type, and its own mandates, assignments, and actuals. So I see myself, I am planned for Kontorso for 20 mandates. I have done only 1 day, so there's still 19 days left I need to do for that project. So these are basically the most common things that are used to work with multi-project management. These dashboards, charts, views, reports you saw, they are all just made in standard based on the most requirements we got. Of course, you are always free to modify them. You are always free to create your own, however you would need it.
For more information regarding our products, services, customer experience, and support, you are invited to visit our website, xrm1.com.